What's up, you two? What's up, you two? Man, this is your guy, William Wade, man, and I'm here. I'm going live today, and I want to talk about something that may be overlooked inside of the cleaning company. And I know that a lot of times cleaners or business owners focus on the product or the service, but there's some things that's way more important that hold your structure together than the product and the service. And we're going to talk about that today because I think that right there is where the growth lies in far as you're growing. And it's easy to clean, but as far as leading people or getting people on the same page, that's the more challenging aspect of the whole journey, right? And I see a lot of times, and I'm not going to get too much into AI, but a lot of times I'm seeing now that people are turning into AI or they're using AI or they're getting involved with AI. And that's a whole nother ball game as far as getting people acclimated to how to run a company when you're using AI. So we're going to talk a little bit about what is the basis of building a team. What are you looking for, right? So most cleaning companies don't fail because they clean. They fail because they don't build leadership. They don't build structure. They don't build systems. I came away from a vacation last week and I was gone for a week, but that's not the longest time I've been away from my company. And being away from my company for an extended period of time and being able to see things move, I learned different skills as far as to build and grow. And I want to share some of those with you. So today, man, I've had technical difficulties. I'm getting back to doing my lives. I want to get on here, 3 or 4 times a week so I can go ahead and start getting into the content the way I really want to give it. But getting back started or getting going again is always a challenge when you stop. So it doesn't matter how you're moving, if you're moving in a fast pace or a slow pace, you want to keep going. All right. Stopping and starting and stopping and starting and stopping and starting. Those things right there are some of the most challenging times of a company or whatever you're doing. Right. So I want to see if I got my people in here. Let me check and see if they're seeing me on live because I'm not seeing people get in here. So let me check and see, make sure they're coming back. All right. Let me see if I can get that back going. Let me get back here. Get my notes here a little better. All right. So today I'm just gonna push through. I'm just gonna push through. Little sleep. I've been up studying and putting these systems in place, and I'm gonna get real. I'm gonna get into AI a lot more on this channel, but I know that a lot of times my followers and people that I was talking to prior to the shift, I was cleaning and coming in for cleaning tips and things like that. But I want to show you different ways of running a company. And those that don't know, I have two companies that I run. I have a cleaning company called Ascent Cleaning Solutions here in Nashville, Tennessee. And then I have a company, W.A.D.E Global AI, that started off with virtual assistants for cleaning companies and coaches, consultants. And now we moved into moving with AI agents and putting them into your cleaning company and also having them to run your whole admin and the team, so to speak. So I will get more into the transition on how I got there. But today we're just talking about the cleaning part is easy, man. The cleaning part is easy. That's not the hard part. So I see a lot of times people, man, how do you grow a cleaning company? And they tell you about pricing and following up and making sure you be there. But what about picking the team? What about managing the people? What about being able to be there when the team falls and you still have to stand tall? What about the losses that come along with the journey of having your team gel together? Those things right there must be talked about because if you're looking to actually, uh, let me, I'm sorry, let me, if you're looking to actually scale, then you want to be able to have people, right? You're not going to be able to do it yourself. If you want to get to 7 figures, 6, 7 figures, you want to have a team in place, or you're going to actually be the person that's doing it all. So starting my cleaning company, I did all of that. I was the head, the tail, the top, the bottom, and everything. Can you actually leave a message? Is there a way that you can leave a comment down there? I want to see if I got it set up right. This right here is my journey back to a consistent live. And so I want to see if my messaging is down there, all right? Because last time I did my messages, I had folks in here, and I wanted to get in depth, but it's a challenge when you can't see the comments on the live. Now, if I'm just posting videos, it's different for me not want to do live, but I want to make sure that my live is actually looking to being able to post. All right, all right, all right, all right, all right. Oh wow, I'm not seeing it, but I do see some other things that needs to happen. And right now, I oh okay. Okay, so we do have okay, so that's good. That is good. That is good. We can definitely see that. So, all right, it's cool. All right, so I fixed it. All right, so that makes me feel a lot better, man. My mind has been going. I was looking to actually get this thing together. YouTube has changed some of the structure that they have, and so getting back in the swing of things again, like I was saying, when you start something and start it again, you start and start it again. It's a little bit more challenging. It's like you're learning all over again. So today I want to just talk a little bit about why most cleaning companies fail. Right? I've been in the business for about 9 years. I've had ups and downs financially. I've started multiple different endeavors. I focused on one thing to get systems in place. And then I figured out that when you turn your back to turn your side, that if you think your system together until you turn and then you feel like that, man, stuff start crumbling. And then I had VAs and people come together and hold things for me. So I want to talk more about not about the cleaning aspect of it, but more about the leadership, the systems, and what is actually needed to actually build a company. Now, I like to tell the people that I work with, I say it's three things that's way more important than the finances. And I know a lot of times when you get in business, the whole thing is to say, hey, I want to grow my income. I want to make more money. I want to get that cash flow going. And that's fine and dandy. I know that's the end game to some. But it's three things that's way more important. And I want to talk about some of those today. Now, one of the things that I think is way more important than the cash flow is actually the mission. What are you actually doing this for? Now, okay, I understand the mission is not going to get you paid, but the mission will keep people around when the finance is not there to keep the game, to keep the business going. Now, a lot of times, the beginning of where you are, depending on where you are in the company, you might have a lot of finances coming in to pay people. You may have just lost a big contract and you needing people to bear with you to actually make it through. Sometimes you have net 30s, net 65, net 60s, net 90s, and so you're waiting on money to come in. And so sometimes when I started, you can only pay people once a month. I had started off where I can only pay people once a month because that's when I was getting paid, right? So we have different financial issues that come along with the company, and you want to make sure that you have a strong mission, and you want to make sure that the people that's along with you kind of understand the mission for you that you're in. So next thing that I want to talk about is the leadership, right? Leadership. So you have a mission and then you have leadership. And I really want to turn this off right here so I don't be distracted by people that's coming in. Again, I'm getting this all together. But one of the things, all right, no, we're just gonna leave it. We're just gonna leave it. We're just gonna leave it. All right, so leadership and then teams, right? So you want to have a team. Now, when I was first starting and I didn't know who was going to go on this journey with me, my team was made up in my mind. And what I mean by that is I want to make sure that you know that even if you're beginning or wherever you are and you need that next person, you find the people that surround you with the attributes that they have and figure out what it is that they have that makes them good for your team, even if they're not the person. So that way, when the person comes along, right, that you can actually know that that's that person that's there for you on that team, right? So that's one of the things I want to talk about here. Now, most companies, let me get this together, man. I'm very much thrown off today. All right, so they don't fail at leading. All right. So again, yeah, this is not flowing right for me today. My notes is not like I like them, and I don't really do well with how this is. So I'm just gonna put this to the side and go just talk. I want to flow. All right. So bear with me. Bear with me. I'm getting in the swing of things, but so leading people now. Yeah, this one is a rough one for me this time. So I think what I'm going to do this time, since it's just one person here, I don't think I'm going to do it. No, I got to push through. Got to push through. Got to push through. So if you don't push through, then you always start over again, right? So let's go. So once I get in the swing of things, I would stop worrying about my notes and trying to give everything lined up. I'm already, in my mind, I'm behind, which even though people don't even know I'm coming on because I'm fresh starting again, but I wanted to start at a certain time, and then I pushed behind and my technology was all messed up. And so now that I'm in here, I think that I'm all thrown off. When really all I need to do is just keep going forward and I can sit into it because I know exactly what I'm talking about. I know exactly what's going on, and I know how to build a company because I've been running two of them for a while. And I have a real estate investment that I also have tenants in. And I had to leave my company for a while and everything still go. It still went. So with that being said, the experience is enough to just go along with it and keep on going. But I want to try to be on point and just have it all together right now. And again, just starting off again, sometimes you don't have it all together. And so I hope that transpires over into your cleaning company or whatever business that you may be in, because the thing about it is you have to be able to be a leader, and the leader has to be able to keep going when things doesn't look okay. So you keep flowing through that, and then your team would actually see that, oh, he knows what he's doing, even if you don't. Sometimes I was in the business, man, and I didn't know what was going on. I didn't know what building I was going in, how it looks to clean. And I'm putting people in and I'm training them to clean the building I've never been in. So I know a lot of times you have been in that same situation, especially if you're in the cleaning business. You get a new contract, you want to put somebody in the building, you go and take them in the building, you don't know nothing about the building, you probably have never met the contacts there, but when you start to pick up the key and now you're cleaning, right? And so that lets me further let you know that cleaning is not the most important part. The leadership is, because I have been in big buildings that I've had 20 people in that actually working to clean a two week contract, and I didn't know what I was doing. But the leadership that I had, the guidance that I had, the passion that I had, the vision that I had for where I was going was good enough to get people to follow along, even though I didn't know what I was doing, right? And so it's like a lot of that with entrepreneurs. I could say motherhood, I could say fatherhood, I could say a lot of things that you journey on in. You don't actually know exactly what you're doing, and so you're just figuring it out along the way. And so with you listening to people that has gone along the way ahead of you, then it can actually help you out. And so that's what I'm looking to do now. And before I transition all into this whole AI world that I love so much, I wanted to kind of touch bases on some of the bottlenecks or some of the issues that I've had along the way. And one of the issues that I had along the way was thinking that everybody works for money. Right. So when I first started the company, I wanted to get people with me, and I wanted to bring the people that was closest with me along for the journey. I seen contracts that I could make 25,000 a month. I seen contracts that I was making 3,000 a month, and I wasn't making that type of money before. And I knew people around me wasn't making that type of money either. So I wanted to bring those people along with me. And I'm like, man, just stick with me and we can do it. We can do it. Now, the thing that held me real true and good, good and true along that process is having values. I'm real big on having a value structure, right? So if you want to manage people in your cleaning company, you should have a value structure that you already exude, you pull out in front of the team, right? So everyone that I work with and I talk to, and I let them say, what is your personal values? Now, companies has values, but what are your personal values? And I know we're talking about the cleaning business and people, but if you cannot start with your own personal values to lead yourself and show how you should run, the people that you're looking to lead will see a flaw in the leadership that you have. Right. So one of my personal values is integrity. So with me, I'm going to stay integrous with who I am no matter what I'm doing. Right. And it leads to trust. Right. So then my team start to trust me, and then I have loyalty from them, and then I lead to success. Now, a lot of times people be like, man, I don't even have values. But if you fix your line up with, fix yourself with some true values, then you actually hold true to those values and your team will see. Now, I can remember when I first started, I was some people that I wanted to get out of the game, if you understand what I'm saying, and bring them over into another world because I just wanted them to see how much money you can actually make in the cleaning business or in business, period. And a lot of times coming from your past or people knowing who you are, the people that you want to go with you along the journey knows you. They see you when you go into the club. They see you when you not really own your business. They see you when you're sitting back smoking or doing whatever you're doing. And so they don't really trust who you are or who you want to be because you have not showed it to them. It's not because you don't have enough money to pay them. It's that they want to figure out, are you serious enough to lead me along that journey with you? Right. So that's one of the things that I had to figure out, what I had to see by me being integrous, by me having the values that I stayed to. I remember it was 3 guys that got into my company and I gave them their first job ever. Their first job ever. And it was very, very invigorating for me because I'm like, man, I have an opportunity to give other people opportunities. And these people trust me. It came to find out they trust me because they seen me on my business every time. Now, you have those certain people around you that are like, man, you don't have to be about business all the time, man. Have some fun. Have some fun. Those people might not be on your same journey. Let them have the fun because they're not looking to lead a team, right? When you're looking to lead a team, it's not about fun because people have kids. They have values. They have vision. They have things that they want to have. And if you want a fun, you go out and have a night of fun and you're not on your business the next day, then they see you on your business the next day, then you're not on it for 2-3 days. How you expect to lead a team of people being so flaky in the way that you're leading yourself? Right. So one of the most important things that I would say as far as building a cleaning company is having values that you hold true to yourself and actually realize that those values must come out in everything that you do. Before my cleaning company had the values, I had personal values. And now how do I get my personal values? We can go into a whole session on that, but usually what I did, and I teach people when I talk to them, you go back to where life was a little less tumultuous, right? I go back in my mind and I could think about, where do I get integrity from? That's my grandmama, man. Grandmama always told me, she said, baby, if you need somebody gonna do it for you, they gonna do it. You don't have to keep asking them, right? Grandmama, you gonna do that yet? You gonna do that? You gonna do that? Grandmama said, if I'm gonna do it, you don't have to keep asking me, I'm gonna do it. Throughout life, I realized meeting different people, when they say, man, I'm gonna do something, man, I'm gonna try to do it, and they don't do it, I realize their integrity is shot, right? They just telling me something to keep me going. So my number one thing that I got was my grandmama is to have integrity. And so that right there was one of my pillars of who I wanted to become in the business. Now, again, we're still talking about cleaning, but it's not just about cleaning, because once you get into a building and you pick up a mop and you start to dust, it's a structure that you can actually put together. You can have checklists. You can have all of these things to actually help your cleaners to clean better. But one thing that does not help them do anything better is if you don't have the values that you show the team on a consistent basis. Right. And we know that in the cleaning industry or a lot of business, people want to be an entrepreneur. They want to have their own thing. They want to walk around and I'm a boss, right? I can do my own thing. Right. And a lot of times we are seeing that people will get into the business. They want to actually work, but then their integrity or their values don't line up to where your values are. And then they show up half doing things. Right. So when I show up with integrity, that leads my team to trust me. Right. And so as I go through these values, I want you to know that the value structure means a lot to me as well. When you're building something, say for instance, you're building a six-figure business. That's pretty simple to build a six-figure business and cleaning business with a couple of contracts. You want to go to 500,000 and above, you're going to start to change the way that you think. You're going to start to change the way that you put your team together. You're going to start changing the way that you have systems in place. And now with AI, oh my gosh, it's amazing how you can do these things. And I can actually delve more into that again as the channel goes on. That's why my passion comes out. It's showing people how to actually use the technology and build the systems behind what they're actually doing. But we're talking about people right now, because even though you build systems, you need people to run the systems that you build. And I'm gonna tell you something else. One of the most challenging things is to get people to accommodate or fall in line with the system. I remember when I first started using Slack. Those that, I don't know where you are in your business, you might just be starting. You might have a software already that you're keeping up time with in your buildings, and you're having people send you screenshots. You might just be using your text messages. Oh my gosh, I hated that. Right? I wanted to know a difference, that my text message is my family versus I need a business ding. Right? So one of the first things I started off was having Slack. And people were so used to texting me and doing things, but my integrity to my system would make them go through Slack. And what I mean, make them go through Slack, they would text my phone and I would answer them back in Slack. I would text my phone and I ask, say, put it in the app, right? Because within the system must have integrity. Now, integrity means that I hear people say you do what you're supposed to do when no one's watching, right? A fence has integrity, right? And I guess it's doing what it's supposed to do when no one's watching. Grass has integrity, right? You don't want to pick up a blade of grass and it feels like something else, right? So you look for things around you to have integrity, right? So that's one of my biggest ones, was integrity. Now, I say that because as I started this live, I said it was three things more important than cash flow. And I also noted that most people in business looking to run up that cash flow. And a lot of people struggle in business because they're looking to clean better to get their cash flow going, when it's more things important than cleaning in the cash flow. First one I said was a mission. All right. So for those that's just joining in, we're talking about leading people is a little more challenging than just cleaning. The cleaning part is easy. And I see a lot of times that people are looking to say, how do I start a cleaning business? And people saying, well, you need a mop, you need your broom, you need a dustpan, you need to get contracts, you need to follow up, you need to do all of these things, right? But first thing first, you got to be integrous about who you are, right? Everything that starts outside first starts inside. Your vision starts from within. Your mission starts from within. Everything that you want to do outside yourself, that you see the cleaning company is able to produce, jobs for other people, helping other people take care of their family. Man, my cleaning company has helped me take care of people in a whole nother country, right? I remember one time I had about 9-10 VAs running and helping other companies running off of this one vision that came from within. One vision that came from within, right? And that was integrity that caused me to keep going along with that vision, right? So then we went to integrity leads to trust. Now, the guys that I had to give them their first job, right? They was working with me because they seen me doing what I do on a regular basis. Every time they came around me, they say, Wade, man, you got the computer. You in that office. You in that thing. When I'm building something, I have 3 boys that I have to leave a legacy for, and I don't take that lightly. And so for me, being an entrepreneur, one of the first in my family, well, really the first in my family, I wanted to go out and I had to figure things out. Before you get your mentors, before you actually know that you need leadership, before you actually know what business is, you have to figure out who you are and what you want to bring to the world that's around you. And for me, integrity leads to trust, leads to loyalty, leads to success. Right? It's no way that I could go for success without building trust with somebody. And there's no way that I can build trust with you or anybody else without having that loyalty. No, without success leads to trust, leads to loyalty, then leads to success. So, okay, so I can't have the loyalty without building the trust. And I can't get the trust without showing you my integrity. right? And a lot of times people are not building a team because they haven't built the trust in the team. Yeah, you tell them to go to work. Yeah, you're saying you're going to pay them. Yeah, you come up with the checks on time. But are you showing them the leadership that they can follow? That's the question. Are you being the leader that you want your children to follow when you're not around your team? I never forget one time I was out with one of my guys, man, and we was out, having a good time. And he was like, "Man, Wade, you can just let loose, man. Come on, man, just let loose." I'm like, "I am loose. I have my little sip, my little drink stuff, but I don't carry myself out in the public in a way that I don't want my business to be represented. I don't post online stuff that I don't want my business to represent it. You're not going to see me doing my extracurricular activities all online because that's not what I want you to see. I need you to trust me. I need you to give me those keys to that $10,000 account. I need you to let me get in those banks. Man, I'm a felon and I had keys to 17 banks in Nashville, Tennessee. All the Fifth Third banks, I had them all in Nashville, Tennessee. Right? But it did not come from me showing up half doing things, right? It came up from them seeing the structure, how I carry myself. When I first started this journey, I had a notebook and a notebook and a I had a notebook and a book, right? It was no computers when I first started this vision. I didn't have computers. I didn't have access to all the stuff that we have access to right here. So what I did was I had me a notebook and a book, and I carried it everywhere. I carried it everywhere. Now, the place that I started my vision was in a dark place. So some people say. But I have a video that says in your dark places, that's where you can shine bright. Because once you got that little glimmer of light in around the darkness, you start to focus on that light and it magnifies. It magnifies. And then it becomes something so colossal that people start to gravitate to you. That's where your team comes in. I had a team built before I had the company. I had people that was ready to run with me before I had the company because they knew the vision and they seen the seriousness of that I was into. The same way that I'm with AI. Man, I go around and I talk AI and folks listen. They tune in because they see that I am really going hard for what I go into. Now, some people along the line say, "Man, you need a break, man. You need to stop working so hard." But for me, honestly, my integrity is saying that passion don't burn out; it ignites. So if I'm in my passion, I'm doing what I do is fun. Now, I did just take a trip to Jamaica last week and I did not open my laptop, not one bit. But I'm going to tell you one thing, that laptop was with me on the plane. Laptop was there with me in the room and I opened it up. I didn't turn it on, but I opened it up because I've always I don't want to give up on my vision because I'm having a little quote unquote fun. That's not integrity for me. For me, my vision goes with me everywhere. And it's not just for me. It's for the people that's following. It's for the people that's looking up. It's for my children. It's for my grandbaby. It's for those type of people that wants to see the other side of success. And they only can see it through you. I remember people say, they have a thing that say, you could be the only Jesus that some people see, right? And that means is that you're going to walk with integrity and you're going to walk with your faith or whatever your faith may be. You're going to walk with that integrity so that people can actually understand that you worship the God that you worship or that you have that spiritual nature that you have within. So as I speak on leading teams, I have to speak on being a leader first from within because that's where it all starts. Too many times we want to go in and we want to pull this team together. You know what, man? I'm gonna have this person over here. I'm gonna get this person working over here. I'm gonna have this company over here. I'm gonna have people down in this company here, and it's fine. It's fine. But what's the integrity of the system? Another word. I said system now, right? I said me, then I said system, then I said leadership. They all one and the same. You have to have integrity in your leadership, and that becomes the system that you govern your company around. And then you put systems around that leadership, and you have other people to follow that system. One of the things I just implemented in my company right now is a structured way that ACS does the cleaning. Now, when I was doing the cleaning, I knew how to clean. But when I was training other people to clean, we went by a checklist. And then I went on to do my other things. But now that I'm hovering over, I can actually see that we need a structure. We need to use a certain color rag for a certain thing. How do we know that we're doing it? Because we need to know how many rags we need to count. Do you need more red rags, blue rags, yellow rags, or green rags, or you use purple rags? What are they for? What is this? That's a system. So you get a cleaning company going and you got people in your building and you're trying to lead them, but you have no system. You don't have them. And it's something as small as what color rag. You're like, oh, wait, that don't make sense. How does it not make sense? When you go to McDonald's, you get a medium and they put them in a medium. You go to Burger King, they give you a Chick-fil-A. I'm not, I said Chick-fil-A, but they give you a chicken sandwich. They wrap it up in a chicken sandwich. They don't wrap it up in a Whopper Junior bag because they have a system, right? And so the people come to the job because of the system that's built, and it feels they feel the integrity of it. So in your cleaning company, you take a little small steps and you're like, oh, it don't really matter. It don't matter if they put on their uniform. Yeah, I know, because you're not in the building to actually catch them in a uniform, but it does matter if they wear the uniform because that's a part of the system. When people come to their buildings, I remember when I started, I put on my Crocs, I go in there, I had my shirt on every time. Even when I was working with my franchise, I kept their shirt on. And then when I went in my building, I put my shirt on. And when I went in their building, I put their shirt on. I would keep 2 shirts in the car and I just flip the shirt on because my integrity was I wanted to show up the way I wanted people to show up in my company. Some of y'all are working with other subcontractors and y'all not showing up the way you want people to show up in your company. And you wonder why it's not working. I'm gonna go with this contractor. I'm a backdoor him, man. I know. Hey, look. You know what? I know he charged about $3,500. If I could do this for about $3,000, would you rather go with me? And then you wonder why your business is not flourishing. Right? That's the integrity that I walk with. I remember every time that I was with my franchise people used to say, man, you're doing the cleaning. Why are we dealing with them? I had people on my team and saying, hey, Wade, just go ahead and do it. Guess what I told them? My grandmama said, don't bite the hand that feeds you. So guess what? While my franchise was feeding me, I was eating, they was taking the profits, and I was still eating. I wasn't focused on what they was taking from me. I was focusing on what I was getting in. I did that in the streets. I wasn't focused on what you get it for. I'm focusing on what I got to get it for and get it out for. You feel me? And so a little different type of technology right there, but it's real. I ain't on my nose. I'm going real. But no, that's who I am. So when my team seen that I wasn't back doing my franchise when I clearly could have, they seen that I was serious. So when the money wasn't coming in at times, they see that I was serious. They believed in me. Dude, I just left my company for a whole year and came back and things were still running. I have both companies running, real estate still going, and I learned a lot in that year. And what I learned in that year was I could step out the way and have a system and it runs for me. I also learned this. It's a different level of running your business when you have a system. And it's not being the day-to-day cleaner. It's being able to look at the paperwork, check the notes, look at the profit and loss, and actually seeing where the company is actually moving and grooving and losing before you actually even worry about if you're going to show up to be a good cleaner. Right? You got cleaners showing up to be a good cleaner. You don't want to show up to be a good cleaner. You want to show up to be a good company. That's a whole different mindset. And that goes along with the people that you have on the team. Now, how do you get those people? Right? I told you 3 things that was most important, more bigger than cash flow. And I said first one was the mission. Right? We got the mission. What is your mission? Right? What is your mission? Do you have a mission? Do you have a life mission? Do you have a business mission? And those are 2 different missions. I remember coaching a lady, and she's a mom, right? And she lost herself in motherhood. She became a mom, and that's all she was mom. So when the children get grown and they go out and do their own thing, she's lost within because her mission changed. She has to recalibrate her mission. Yeah, you was a mom, and you still are a mom. But who did you want to be before the mom stepped in? That's who you want to be in the company before the company grows. Who is that man or woman that you look to be? Who is that person that you look to inspire? What do you want to do with the culture around you? Do you want to help out other communities? Do you have a vision big enough that you could take people and put them on your back? Or are you one that you just want to see it come into your pocket and you just spend the money and do what you're going to do with it? That would determine on how you lead your team. So for me, it was all about we. My name is Wade, and I say don't add to we. W.A.D.E, cross out the A and the D in the middle, and it's W and the E in the beginning and the end. I found acronyms for my name, and I've made it me. Don't add AD. Take the AD out and just put the WE. It's we all day long. It's always we. Even when I make moves that my team don't know, it's for us. I'm so selfish that I'm selfless. Meaning that when you put out, you get back. If you believe that way, it's the law of reciprocity, right? Whatever you give, you shall receive. Pressed down, shaken, and let's not get into that. But I put out good fruit. Good seed. That lets me to talk to something else. Leading the people is hard. And again, what you think leading people is, again, it starts with self. So as you grow up in the culture, you hear you reap what you sow. You reap what you sow. And a lot of times they come with a negative connotation. And you're going to reap what you sow. I realized when I was transforming, renewing my mind, I realized this. I'm going to reap what I sow. So let me sow good seed. If I sow good seed, I'm going to get good harvest. So I started sowing good seed. Hey, man, how you doing, man? Hey, this don't have to be the end of it. Man, look, man, hey, we can turn this thing around. Hey, you know what, man? Look, I like what you got on, man. I like the way you talk, man. Hey, you know what, man? You step up, man. You show, you got your shoulder up, man. You walk upright, bro. Man, I like the way you walk, man. I got to get some more of that in my life, right? Now, I was actually complimenting people. Now, a lot of things people would say, man, I'm planting all these good seeds and, man, I keep hitting bad breaks. Well, you have reaped what you sow. You have to plant enough seed for the harvest to come in. If you don't plant enough seed, then the bad stuff you got to overplant. You got to keep planting. Pluck the weeds out and keep going. All right, you're like, Wade, man, you're talking about cleaning, man. What this has to do with it? Leading people is the hard part. And the reason why leading people is the hard part, because it starts with the leadership that you have within yourself. And we don't want to talk about that. We want to be able to wake up 8 o'clock one morning and wake up 9:30 the next morning. We want to say that, hey, I'm going to make it to the gym on 7 o'clock and make it to the gym at 7:15 and think that's cool. Oh, Wade, you're going too far, man. You're going too far. Okay, fine. That's your integrity. That's not mine. I want to make it to where if I say I'm going to be there at 7, I'm going to be there at 7. Now, of course, I might be late, but that don't make it okay for me. That make it like, man, I'm going to get it next time. That makes it a challenge for me. Man, I need to leave a little bit earlier. That's what I do to lead people. I lead myself. So what you might have thought it was about, it wasn't. That's not it. It's not about the people around you. It's about you leading you to become the better leader so the people around you can just follow. They'll gravitate to you. Man, I'm going to tell you something, man. You don't understand. It was a time that people have a hard time finding people to work with them, right? And as I was working with people, did you know that they love working with me? And they love working with me. And it's to the point that when I wasn't working with them, I had different situations. I had to figure out how to reproduce me in others. What a leader does. Leader doesn't have make followers. He make other leaders. I had to reproduce me in my team to where my team is actually filling the gap for me not actually being there. All right, let me give you another example. You're in the building, you're doing the cleaning, you put your new cleaner in there. The contact loves you. They love the way you communicate. They love the way you clean. They love the way you show up. They leave you cookies and donuts and all of those things. And then you put this new person in here that's very unfamiliar. You don't even actually merge them together. I call this a transitional power in my company, where you don't actually introduce the new cleaner to the prospect or to the contact, and they just find them in there. Then they miss something where you could have missed it, but they love you, the relationship. But you didn't transfer the power to the next cleaner. And so now you're having issues. How do I know? I did it. I ain't gonna lie, I did it. I was so easy to get up out those buildings because I was working them 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19 hours a day. at times when I was building. When I started to get people I could put in there, you're like, wait, did you say team was important? Yeah, team was important. But finances have to be able to pay the team. Now, hold up, Wade. You just said people will work for a mission. They don't need the money. You're right. And I did have people doing that. But taking the franchise fees and having to pay for the contract, having to pay for my buildings, and then having to pay people, it was very rare, very small. Out of every dollar, I was losing 22 cents. Then I had to pay 4 times a month of the amount. So say for instance, I had a contract that was $1,000. I owed them 3,000 plus they were taking 22%. So on some of my accounts, I was losing money. I was losing money. I was paying people, but I was losing money on the account until I paid it off. So what did I do? I went and got special jobs. I did floor jobs, kitchen, whatever you give me, I'm doing it because I had to make my ROI for my time so that I could pay my people. All right. Does it all make sense now? So, okay, cool. So let's back it on up. So get back to where I was at. So putting somebody in the building, right? And having that relationship or having me being able to show my team how I care for my clients actually showed them how to care for my clients as well. Right. And so I had to figure out how to reproduce the value structure that I have within in my company. All right. How do we do that, Wade? I'm all ears. Let me how we gonna do that. All right. You take your values that you have and then you build values in your company. Right? So what are the values of your company? Do you have a value structure in your company? Now, I just labeled this cleaning is easy, leading people is hard, but you have nothing that you're anchoring things to. What is your mission? Right? Now you have a team. What is the value for the team? Oh man, man, we got trust. We're gonna be there on time. We're gonna be replicable. Bro, you don't even know how to say it. What we're gonna do? So how is your value structured so that the people that you're leading understands that this is what we're leading from? Does trust come before being replicable? Does accountability come before trust? Does excellence in work come before being on time? Man, I was just trying to be excellent, bro, but you're not on time, bro. On time is one of the most important things in the company. We got to be on time. But bro, I'm being excellent. Then we want to be excellent. Yeah, that's later on. You had to be on time before you become excellence over here. Oh, okay, my bad, bro. My bad. That's right. Now, that's the simple things that you need to have in the mindset of leading people in your company. You want to make sure that you have the structure that you want to lay down in your company, right? And I'm gonna give you another tip. A lot of people don't like values, right? They man, what is this value thing? So what you do is you use ChatGPT. All right. You say, hey, I have a $10 million cleaning company that I'm looking to grow, or I'm looking to grow a $10 million. Give me 10 values that a company that's at $10 million revenue will have in their fiber. I'm just making the prompt up and give it to you, right? You put that in there, it's going to give you 10. Boom. Now, out of them 10, you don't pick them. You already picked it. You give it to your team. Let your team pick them. Let your team pick them. Mission, team. Why, Wade? Why do I need to have my team pick them? All right, let me tell you why. All right, so I have a situation now that I have a couple of people that may show up in jogging pants, Crocs, but it's okay because it's late night, right? But one of their values that they picked was professionalism. I just put it on the paper. They said professionalism. It was a group of them, the group of the team, they picked them. And what I did was I took the tally marks. I was like, okay, 3 people picked that, 4 people picked that, boom, 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 boom. And I organized it. And whoever picked, whatever was picked most was the first, right? So they picked professionalism. Now, for me, okay, makes my job easier. So how professional are we when we show up this way? You right, Wade? You right, man. I didn't pick professionalism. Y'all did. I didn't choose it. So are we living up to the values that we picked? We gotta do better, don't we? I ain't saying nothing. I'm just seeing if the integrity that you have in the company is worth keeping it going. It worked every time. I got people on my team right now living up to the values because they chose them. Right? So it's things like that. The mindset. I like to say it's mentality, not money. And when I say that, if you follow me or know when I say that, I don't mean that you don't need money. I say that because people will see that you're making 25,000 a month, 50,000 a month, right? You're making 380 a year, right? And they're like, man, look how much money he's making. It's mentality, not money, baby. It's mentality, not money, bro. It's the mentality. Because before I made that 35,000 this month, I lost a contract. I had a teammate that lost me 12,500 on a deal. What do? W.A.D.E? You got rid of? I would have got rid of it. No. I had to let her learn from her mistakes and figure out the paperwork. I took the 12-5 loss. And I wouldn't have done that. Okay, well, you ain't gonna have no team. Because one thing that I know, and I see it in children, they don't just get up and take off running. They get up, oh, hold up, wait a minute, hold up. Come on, baby, you get back up. Go ahead and get back up. Go ahead. And they hold on to the arm and they move it over here, and then they take a couple of steps and then they fall. We don't say, man, look at you, a failure. You messed up, son. You messed up. You're not gonna ever walk. Now we say, hey, come on, get on back up. So in a team, you have to have the nurturing, right, for the mission. How you gonna have a mission? How you gonna have a mission to take over 5 or 6, 7 cities, and you can't even build a team, and you can't let your team fall? You're getting rid of them every time they mess up, right? You don't have no grace, right? So one of the things that I did, and I'm giving a couple of the things out because I'm not going with my notes. I'm just going off, man. I'm finally feeling it. If we got some people in here, man, y'all show me a comment, man. Let me see. Drop a broomstick down now if you got a cleaning company. I want to see if we could get some moving back and forth, because I'm gonna start coming live and I'm gonna start getting into more of AI. But I'm gonna start getting this consistency going first, right? Integrity leads to trust. You ain't gonna be able to trust me to show up if I don't show up on time, right? We got where you can watch shows at any time you want to now. But I remember when I was younger, the Cosby Show came on at the same time, and we were sitting right in front of the TV because we could trust that it was gonna come on. And when it didn't come on, and we had the president on or somebody else, we're like, "Oh man, this coming on today, man, right?" Okay, we do got somebody. Hey, fam, great message. All right, what we got? Okay, cool. All right, now we can see we can definitely do this time. Thank you, Miss Karen, showing up. No, but seriously, so as we start to continue to grow, right? It's not just about cleaning the buildings. We got to get out the mindset that I got to clean. Yeah, you got to clean, but you have to structure. You have to lead. You have to trust. You have to provide. You have to give provision. All right. So you have to give all of those things, right? And so that's one of the things about leadership. Now, let's go on to who I am. I didn't know who I am. I'm W.A.D.E. I run a cleaning company. Again, going by these notes and bullet points is just not for me right now. I like the flow, man. And most cleaning companies, they get into the hustle. You get into the hustle and bustle. Oh man, I gotta go do this building. I gotta do this building. I gotta do this building. I gotta do this building. Hey, Macarena, I gotta do this building. I gotta do this building, right? That's what we're doing, right? But when do you put the structure in? When do you start to trust people? When do you start to build a team so therefore you can actually allow them to fall? Okay, who hasn't lost an account? Dude, I just lost a big account. I remember in 2020, I lost the biggest account ever. It was Top Golf. It was paying me $25,000 a month. I was financially free, making $5,000 a month. I had a team in there. That was only 2.5 years after I started business. I started business in 2017, the end part of 2017, 6/20. Matter of fact, 6/20, 2017, I started my LLC. By 2020, I was financially free. I had buildings covered, people in there, I had folks working, and COVID hit. I lost the biggest contract of my life. I haven't made a contract that big since. And I don't know if I want a contract that big because it kind of rocked me a little bit. But that's nevertheless, I've lost. Right? Now, we get people in the buildings and we don't want to lose. I mean, I can't lose that, man. I can't. How can you not lose to gain? You have to gain the relationship of people. You have to build trust. You have to build the relationship. They need to know that you trust them and you're not going to be upset if they mess up. The same grace is given to you, you got to extend to others. Right? So I had a client, I had my partner, one of the person who does my finances. She does my, because at the beginning, man, I'm putting people in positions. I'm doing this, right? The money was low, but I still needed to go. And so I needed to know that you're gonna go with me and we're gonna flow, right? So boom, now we out the door. All right. So we going. And I shifted from regular commercial cleaning to post-construction. Now, when you do that, a lot changes because you have different billing. Well, with the regular commercial cleaning, we're building in net 15. We were doing net 30 then, we're doing net 15 now. But you build it once a month. Now with post-construction, you build it in phases. So the person that's doing the building, I told her what phase 1, phase 2 was. She put it at one bill. The guy signed it. We started doing the work. He paid me a portion of it. I told him the extra was going to be for the next. He said that was outrageous. He did not agree to that. And so he did not pay me the rest. And we lost the second portion of the job. I end up losing over $12,000 in that deal. And at that time, I was paying my people to show up. You know how you do. Hey, you just come and show up on the job and I'll pay you at the end of the day. I need you to show up. So that means the money that I had was gone already. And I was paying them good because I had a good post-construction. We're doing a big school. I ended up losing on that deal. Telling the people around me, they said, oh, you need to fire her, get rid of her. How she messed that up? Well, how did I not communicate that better? Why didn't I look at that after a certain amount? I need to look at that before you send. Right? That's when that came in. But I didn't do that at first. I didn't know I needed to. Right? But I didn't get rid of her. Because when I left that year, she had all my finances down. I have a system that's set up and all my finances routed. All my people was paid. All the things would come out. I came home with more money than I left. How can you pay? You think $12,500 is worth that? Somebody to take the big broke off my shoulder? Now I can actually don't even worry about. I don't even go get the checks. I just like to see the checks add up in the bank. I don't want to go to my mailbox and get no check. Come on, that's boring. I just want to see it in there. My people are paid, and I can see what I got to spend, and I can know what I got to do with it. Right? That's what I want. And in order to get there, you have to allow people to mess up. Yes, and it's your money. You're the business owner. You get paid the most at the end because you're going to take the most risk. That's just how it is. It's been times that I didn't get paid from people for 60 days and I had to go without because I had to pay my people. Then when the money came in, I had started another job. So it really felt like I didn't even get the money because now I'm paying more people. So I'm constantly paying people. I went through that phase. I'm still going through a phase like that now. Because every level of climbing, you have a new level of obstacles. Right? So let me check this last message on this message right here. How do your systems help you scale without losing quality? All right, that's a good one. All right, okay. All right, you threw that one in there. All right, so how do my systems help me scale without losing quality? All right, that's a shift. That's a shift for me. All right, so let me give that. Let me lead up into that. All right, because I was really on putting. Oh, I can actually go straight into it. So the system, how my systems help me scale without losing quality. Because all right, so with the mishap, all right. So let's say the mishap that I had, right, with the 12,500, the story I just gave you, right. So What I did was then I realized after that I needed to implement something, which is what a system is. You're implementing a step. And so I needed to, after a certain amount of invoices come out, or a certain amount, 10,000 high, I need to make sure I look it over before it goes out. Right now, putting that system in place helps me not lose the quality of my work, because I have to make sure that the numbers go out and I can get paid. Because the last time I didn't do that, I didn't get paid and I lost. Now, if we want to go over into moving into, and I know that's you, so we want to move into more of the AI stuff. And we want to move over to the AI stuff. And I see you as teammate right there, teammate. That's W.A.D.E Global AI teammate representing right there. So to answer that question, with AI, how do my systems help me scale without losing quality? Now with AI, that's a lot easier. That's a lot easier because it's more. It's way more. What's that? Let's say it's consistent. Consistent is the word. It's consistent. The integrity of the system helps you to build the trust, and then become loyal, and then the success. So even in that question that you asked, my system, it goes to the same value. So if my system has integrity, if my system is shaped up right, if I go through the flaws of falling on my system, if I go through the mishaps in my system, I start to trust the system. Then I can start to walk away and knowing that, hey, even when I walk away, it's going to be some things, but I trust the system. I trust that they're going to get it together. I trust that they're going to understand it. Right? I left last week and I went to Jamaica. I was gone for a whole week. Now, I closed the deal on the way to Jamaica. I closed the deal. We got a new contract in the cleaning company. I have people working in the cleaning company that I don't clean the building. I just closed the deal. They're supposed to go set it up. The contract is supposed to be signed. We have all that stuff, and the deal was supposed to start. He wanted a floor job too. You know, I got back in the week and the contract didn't get signed yet. Now, do I still trust the system? Yes. Because I didn't want to do that. I'm not cleaning the building. So what I had to do was I had to figure out what was broken. Right? So how do systems help me scale without losing quality? It helps by learning the breakage and fixing it. That's what it is. The system is the quality of the service. A lot of cleaning companies can charge more and they don't understand why. It's because they have a system. I have a Swept app, and I have another app I just created. We're not going to talk about that. But I use Swept right now. I do have another app that I'm putting inside of my company that I just created using AI. Oh my gosh. Wait till I can show y'all how to create apps, how to create different things for your company. You don't really need too much of anything, and anything is being able to be created right now. We're in the most amazing time in the world to be able to speak life into what you want, and it be created like that. Those that use Swept, I created a Swept app just so I could cut off Swept app now, and it's actually functional. And I'll show you that in a couple of weeks. Oh, what else? Inspections, all of that. I just said what I wanted, and it actually creates it. That's the power of AI now, right? So, how does my system help me scale without quality? It helps me scale without losing quality by fixing the system, not being the system. See, when I first started my cleaning company, I was the system. I put people in place, but everything relies on me. And in my AI agency, a lot of that still happens. A lot of that stuff still relies on me, right? I tell people this sometimes. I say, man, if you have a problem with one business, start you another one. And people are like, what that mean? What would that mean? The thing is, the issues that I come along with in my cleaning company, when I started working with my VAs in the Philippines, I couldn't just go into the building and clean for them. I remember when I first started using my VAs in the Philippines, I started helping other cleaning companies grow to 6 figures. And it was like, let me see, 29, let me see, what was it? 2019. All right, so 2019, yeah, 2019 is when I started doing this, right? So, no, it's about 2020, 2019, 2020, end of that. So I needed them to do stuff for clients. I needed them to do stuff for me. And they didn't show up sometimes, right? Now, if somebody don't show up in the building, I can go clean it. But if they don't show up in the Philippines, I can't go knock on the door and get it done. So starting that other business helped me realize that I can be more patient in certain areas, and I have to develop the system for the cleaning company using these stuffs and skills I was getting with the VAs, right? So that's another way that I actually had to develop skills to be more, as they say, ambidextrous. I think you can go both hands, and flow different ways because of the systems and the different levels of the systems that are at play at all times. Now, you might think that, hey, I don't have a system, right? You might think that systems are important. Where do I start? Well, what time do you wake up? Oh man, I try to wake up every morning about 6:30, 7 o'clock and go hit the gym. That's a system. You call it a habit though. Habits are part of a system. So let's form a habit in the company of using formal color rags. Man, wait, we ain't got to do all of that. Well, then you don't want the team to trust you. Because the thing about it is these small details in the cleaning that actually helps your team to see that, oh, this is a real company. Oh man, they are stickler on putting on the jerseys. Not said jerseys, the smocks or the shirts. I talk a story how when I started, I didn't really hold that to my teammates. I didn't really care too much because they in the building late night. It wasn't until I started to really understand business structure and how I want to grow as a company, and then I realized that I need to enforce that situation that they wear their uniform. They should be on time. Now, when I say on time, dealing with contractors, you don't tell them exactly what time to show up. I can give them a window, but they still should have a system of being consistent within that window. If the building's supposed to be done at 5 o'clock in the morning, by 5 in the morning, I don't want you showing up at 3 a.m. trying to knock it on out and get to the next. No, if it ended at 5 and you got till 5, if you can't show up by 7, 8 o'clock, then I don't know if we can work. Unless you got some other buildings that I know you in, because I don't want to be pushed to the system at the quality of work will get diminished if the system is not in place. And since I can't tell you exactly when to be there, I can give you a range. Another one I'll tell you on my weekend buildings. My weekend buildings, they close at Friday. They want it done by Monday, right? Me, I had the whole slew of buildings on the weekend. I worked 8 days a week, right? That's how when I started. So that's when I started. So for me, I can do my building on a Sunday because I know I'm gonna get it done. But when I started putting people in the building, I didn't have a system in place. I told them the same thing I was. I mean, it's got to be done by Monday. Then I found out that people would show up Sunday night. The nerve of them, right? You would think they would want to get it out Friday, go and get it over with. No, they didn't want to do that. They want to sit at home and chill and relax all weekend and rush it on Sunday night. So how does my systems help scale without losing quality? Systems is how you scale without losing quality. It's that's how you do it. You have to have systems in place to scale with quality. And that would remind me of the last thing I was talking about. Cleaning companies charges higher when they have systems in place. When I started to get the Swept app, and the Swept app costs us about $12, maybe $13 per tenant, I started putting a $25 a month service charge for the tech that I have to use for each account that I get. So not only was I paying Swept, I was actually making what's that, $12 per client as I got more clients. So I was making money by the system that I was implementing. And the reason that I did that and went up is because I needed the system to work. So now that my people have, instead of them sending emails, they can actually send it straight into the app and I can see it. Now, do I respond to it? No, not I. I don't respond to it, but I can see it. I can see how it's being responded to. Again, how does my system help me scale without losing quality? My system says that I don't respond to the clients. I just need to monitor how it's being done. And I'm going to tell you why. Because when I got a new client, I welcomed them on. And I was like, congratulations, great to be with ACS. I'm William Wade, I'm the owner, and I just wanted to, welcome you onto the team, right? Or they're our clients, right? Did you know they started atting me for everything they needed. At William, oh, well, no. I stopped responding. I stopped responding. Now, some might say that's rude. No, I let them know face to face that I'm the owner. I have a team to do that. I stopped responding in the app, but I actually went and talked to them face to face. Because I said, I know, that's not what we're going to do. And I didn't say it this way, but no, that's not what we're going to do. I have manager. I have a lead. I have a partner. I have an assistant. I have another assistant, but she doesn't answer it anymore. But I have people. So let the system, so you don't lose the quality of your service. Because what I need to do, I don't need to focus on the issues. I need to focus on the solutions. That lets me to know another thing. I want to teach y'all something about leading people. It's hard. All right. So some of you know that when we have cleaning companies or business, it's a lot of issues. And since you're the leader and you're leading the people, they will come to you with the issues. Hey, Wade, we lost the key. Hey, Wade, my vacuum is broken. Or hey, Wade, I got a flat tire. Right? So now you become a issue dumper. I'm gonna give you a formula, and I call it the 1-3-1. Right? 1-3-1, like basketball defense. 1-3-1. All right. You have one problem. Bring me 3 solutions, and bring me the one solution that you think would be beneficial. Now, what that does is that turns your team into a leading thinkers. No longer are they coming and saying, "Hey, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong." Well, what are some ways to make it out? And I be the person that choose the right direction. Well, you know what, man? I lost the key. Now, what I can do is I can either come by and pick it up. You can meet me somewhere if you got a special, or I can actually we can send a message to her and let her know that we'll have to do a clean tomorrow. I come and get the key from you if it's okay. Man, you know what, man? I appreciate that. I got a good rapport. I'm gonna just let her know we go ahead and bring that tomorrow. See, I made the decision, but it was an easy decision because I didn't feel like going to give it the key. I was doing something else. But again, that was just hypothetical because I have someone else that has the keys now. So now if they need to get the key, I say, hey, they need the key, and they just take them to get the key. But matter of fact, I don't even have to do that. They put it in the the SWEP, and then they see what happens, and I just monitor it 2 or 3 days later. So it's a little different now. But yeah, that's my journey though. I mean, that's my journey. That's my journey. It didn't just start like that. It actually morphed like that. And how it got to be like that is I removed myself. Now, was it voluntarily? No, but I was removed from the company for a while. I had my hands tied. Literally, I couldn't do anything. So I had to rely on the team. Now, I had to also learn how to manage and run the company from a different perspective. And I look forward to teaching y'all that. Kiosk, calling home. Oh, hanging up before the 15 minutes on the phone to make sure the people don't know where I'm at. Oh man, that was exciting. I know some of y'all might not even know what I'm talking about, but if you in the game and you understand what I'm talking about, you see what you understand. I had to hang up before it said 1 minute remaining, and I hang up and I call back. Man, what happened? Oh well, man, it's a bad connection. And I was, man, come on. Hey, I ran a company from places that you wouldn't even think. 2 of them. Right. And so it's mentality, not money. It's mentality, not money. And so along this journey, man, I'm gonna open up a lot more. I got a lot of out on me this one, and that's because I didn't go to my script. I should have went to my script because I gave a little bit more than I wanted to give, but that's okay. It's time to open up a little bit more. But I'm back on live. I will be here every Tuesday at 7 p.m. I do plan on starting another live because I want to get more into AI. I want to actually teach you how to actually build apps, actually put AI into your business, how to actually build an agent. All right. So I have agents in my cleaning company now. If you don't know what AI agents are, they're phenomenal. They're phenomenal, right? I have agents that actually run W.A.D.E Global AI. All my VAs have agents. I have my teams over here have agents. And what I do with my agents is I tell my agents what my agents should do, and it disseminates it to the team, and that the team knows what to do if they listen to their agent. And I don't have to do so much repetitive talking, because now the whole company is structured and is moving in one systematic way. It's phenomenal. Oh my gosh, it's phenomenal. It's phenomenal. I will be teaching this. I have a webinar that I have coming up, and I think I'm gonna do this one free. It is talking you how to steer your AI and get the best prompts out of your get the best responses out of your prompts. And it's not prompt engineering, right? I see people saying prompt engineering. Prompt engineering is really dead now. All right, it's no more prompt engineering. You do need to know how to engineer a prompt, but it's not about prompt engineering. You don't have to construct it all. It's so much simpler now. That was 2 years ago, like a year and a half ago, prompt engineering. Now you need to steer it a certain way. And I will break that down and what actually steer is. So if you're interested in that, you can just leave a comment here that you want the link, so that way you don't miss it. And I will actually make sure I send the link so you can actually join the webinar. You can get the replay. And yeah, it's going up for me right now, man. We're about to change the way that I do the content. It's about to be more interactive, and it's about to be more focused on building with AI. All right. But again, I still wanted to talk about the mindset, how to actually lead people in the business, how to actually cleaning part is easy. Man, the cleaning part is easy, man. It's the easy part. It's the deal. It's the leading the people that's hard. And then not even that, leading the people to lead other people is the next challenge. How do you lead someone to lead someone else? Whew. I've done it too. I've done it too. Oh man, it's a lot to talk about, man. It's a lot to unpack. Thank you for showing up, and those that watch the whole live. I appreciate it. If you're catching it on the replay, man, just leave a comment down below. Let me know if you're in the cleaning business, if you love AI, do you use AI? So that way I can kind of navigate how I'm gonna go throughout the content that I bring out, because I got some things that's gonna blow your mind. All right. So if you're not into the AI world and you're just into the cleaning world because you're stuck as the cleaner, or you're looking to scale your company, you can actually reach out and we can actually talk. I can actually give you some tips. You also can stay tuned, because I'm going to take a lot of the complexity out of switching over your company to be more technical. All right, technology, or innovative, as I like to call it. All right. Well, again, my name is William Wade. I like to say wishing ain't doing enough. We got to go get it, man. We just got to go get it. And I'm out.